education to get better employment, right? So that's how we say the goals are interrelated. Adopted in 2015 and then it's expiring in 2030. So we also call it Agenda 2030. Goal 5 is gender equality.
This short report is about the SDGs, about what citizens are saying in terms of how we're implementing the goals, about the level of awareness that we have currently, which is like only 60%. 60% of Ghanaians don't know about the SDGs, which is why we're doing this. Okay? It also talks about what civil society organizations are doing and what we need to improve on. Okay? So look at it, share it with your teachers, and then these are the advocacy messages on the goals. It tells you what everybody can do for goal 1 up to goal 17. So it's not only government, it's a collective responsibility. So we are presenting this to you. Thank you so much. Today we want to talk to you about something very important. Something about your health, about the food you eat, about how you keep your environment, about your education. You want to hear that, right? Okay. SDGs!
Stand together now! So all these things, we know we don't want them. So he's saying that by 2030, nobody should be exhibiting these things. Everybody should have enough to buy whatever the things that they need, as the lady was mentioning. That's why we are saying that everybody needs to come on board to help the government and the UN achieve the goals. Okay. What is goal 4? Please tell me about it.
Which is quality education.
Can we give him a round of applause?
Because you have shown high level of knowledge on the SDGs, I want to ask somebody to tell me what you yourself can do to achieve SDG 4.
Be serious for school.
Be serious in school. Good.
The second, do all homework.
Do your homework.
Ask question when teacher is teaching.
Ask question when teacher is teaching.
Your brain should be sharp.
You have to do what?
Your brain should be sharp.
So your brain should be sharp. Please let's shine for him. SDGs.
Who compose the SDGs?
Countries who are members of the UN, of which Ghana is part of them. Okay? Ghana is a member of the UN. They came together in 2015 and they drafted the SDGs. So it is all the countries who are part of the United Nations that formulated the SDGs.
Thank you very much. This is our press statement for the week. SDG Civil Society Platform, Ghana. We are hashtag standing together or stand together now. In 2015, world leaders signed historic agreements, the Sustainable Development Goals, the Paris Declaration, and the broader 2030 agenda to push for a peaceful, just, and sustainable world by the year 2030. These agendas come with a promise to transform our world, end poverty, end hunger, reduce inequality, ensure peace, and combat climate change. Most importantly, to set us on the path of peace and prosperity in a healthy environment. 4 years on, we are yet to live up to this bold ambition. The world is not fully on track to achieve the SDGs. People are suffering from overlapping impacts of inequalities, loss of rights, including child rights, including labor rights, including women's rights, gender injustice, conflicts, militarization, environmental degradation, and climate change. The global economic, financial, and political system are concentrating power and wealth in the hands of a few people, favoring a limited number of individuals. According to the UN Sustainable Development Goal Report 2019, poverty, hunger, and disease continue to be concentrated in the poorest and most vulnerable groups of people and countries. Our region, that is the sub-Saharan African, remains the region with the highest prevalence of hunger, with the rates of increasing from 20.7% in 2014 to 23.2% in 2017. The youth are 3 times more likely not to be employed than adults. Gaps in our legal frameworks are failing to protect women's rights, children's rights, girls' rights, labor rights. Our laws are failing to protect our people's rights. Girls continue to be subject to harmful practices that profoundly affect their lives. Too many schools in sub-Saharan Africa lack the basic elements of a good quality education, trained teachers, and adequate facilities. Industrialization in least developed countries is still too low to meet SDGs Goal 9, which requires countries to build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Colleagues, nature is our first support system. When it is degraded and polluted, it has strong impact on our food security, water supply, air quality, and economy as a whole. Without tackling climate change and loss of biodiversity by protecting and restoring our natural world as God gave to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, we will not achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. This is why we are standing together. We are CSO's platform in Ghana, Koika Friends in Korea, the media, and then the members and the co-conveners, the children of Ghana, the women of Ghana, the labor institutions of Ghana. All of us are standing together. We moved from New York and then we came to Kimbu. From Kimbu, we are the International Press Center. From the International Press Center, we are going to Ashama to meet the Ashama women. We have been to most of the district assemblies preaching the SDGs. That is the way to go. And a better Ghana is a clean Ghana. That is why we are standing together in Ghana alongside many other advocates across the globe, calling our leaders to accelerate action. What we have done is not enough. If we were in the first gear, we need a fourth gear to make progress. It means we need to accelerate the efforts and take very bold and pragmatic decisions to create a peaceful, just, and sustainable world. Brothers and sisters, the Global Week of Action on SDGs rallies public support to the Sustainable Development Goals, connecting action taking place in thousands of cities and communities across the globe. While world leaders gather in New York for the 5 UN summits, climate change, climate action, universal health coverage, the 2030 agenda, financing for development, and supporting small island developing states. As we mark the 2019 Global Week of Action on SDGs, we urge our leaders to set up a more ambitious roadmap, identifying clear practical actions to be taken in the coming 10 years to deliver on the promise of the world we want by 2030. On this note, we are calling on governments to do the following without further delay. 1. Promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development. Build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels, including district assemblies, and promote policies that fundamentally protect the general interest of all. 2. Address the multiple dimensions of inequality. Deliver on the promise, leaving no one behind. And tackle the root causes of inequality through tax justice and social protection, and end discrimination against women and girls and the most marginalized communities in every country, including persons with disabilities. 3, we finally call on all governments to take concrete steps to protect humanity and human rights, including labor rights, children's rights, and women's rights. Stronger commitments to move the economy away from fossil fuels and towards clean, renewable energy sources, so as to halve the carbon emissions by 2030 and to eliminate them altogether by 2050 at the least, so that we can ensure that we limit the global temperature or global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. This statement is issued by the Ghana Civil Society CSO's platform on sustainable development goals. This day, 25th of September 2019. Long live the media. Then you say long live. Long live the media. Long live CSO platform on SDGs. Long live Ghana. Choboy! 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 Boy! Boy! Yeah.
That's why we are here. There is something they call SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah.
Of course.
Organize the women here. We will sweep and collect all the rubbish. And we'll make sure we have a dustbin here. If we do the rubbish, we will put in the rubbish in the dustbin container so that the Zoom Lion people come and take it.
SDGs for the people and the people for the SDGs.
Global Week of Action on SDGs. Today it's climate strike. That's why the CSO platform will come out here today to clean the beach as part of our support for climate justice. It's important we keep our environment clean.
But do you know that it takes 1,000 years for this plastic, which we probably pay 50 pesos or 5 pesos for, 1,000 years for it to decompose? What it means is that we are not keeping a sustainable and a clean environment.
And incidentally and unfortunately, this is also where people come and dump their toilets. When you look at the road, we can see toilet vehicles moving up and down. Where is it being dumped and how are they recycling it? The life of the children in this area are in danger. And Ghana must do something, the world must respond.